Show, the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show. They clean up nicely. It's the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show. Yeah, they clean up nicely. Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Daft Punk's in the building. How are you guys feeling today? Thanks for
How we're
joining
feeling
us.
great. The audience in the background.
You guys are like baby ants. Thank you so much for joining us today. I got my non-sponsored Liquid Death.
I've got my non-sponsored Liquid Death too somewhere around here. I just don't have it in front of me, but you know, it's tough being not sponsored by Liquid Death these days, especially when you're not drinking, you know. So
The not drinking has made me go through all of the Liquid Death I have way quicker. So we gotta hurry up and get that sponsorship. We might have to just actually email them. What do you think?
yeah,
Right?
I emailed them once, but you know, they were like, you guys aren't on brand. And we were like, all right, fine.
You're not worthy.
Is your daughter and her friend still bogarting all your Liquid Death?
No, I had to cut them off, dude. It's like, sorry, you can't just take TikToks and pose with a fake water beer. Sorry.
That's what they want it for, the look, huh? They don't want it for the water.
I'm like, it's called a cup. Go grab a cup out of the fridge or out of the cupboard. Go fill it up, and you'll be all good.
Well, ain't nobody trying to drink that faucet water anymore. Are you? Well, it's like if you drink faucet water, you're poor. Whereas, like, that was just the norm back in the day. You just put a cup under the faucet and drink out of it. Now it's like, who does that?
I try and just get a couple of those regular dirty waters in just to keep my enzymes going. Is that what they call them these days?
I think so. I guess. I don't know. We're speaking above our pay grade here. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you so much. We had a call from the YOLO line. I'm going to air real quick, so I'm just going to play it, and we'll hear that. So here we go.
Drew and Fuse. Fucking love the content, man. You guys kill it each and every week. The celebrity intros, all the cool shit that you guys do. Yeah, fucking love it. Keep it going. This is Joe from Rusted Sounds here in the Midwest, just south of Lake Michigan in good old Chesterton, Indiana. Out for a morning walk. This is how I normally spend my morning walks. Listen to you two, tear it up. So I love the content, refreshing. Yeah, everything. Thank you guys. Have a Merry Christmas.
A positive one there. That's good.
That's always nice. Thanks, Joe. We appreciate you so much. Sorry we were a little late getting that aired. We had a bunch of other voicemails, but they're just from the girl that somehow got the phone number that she just keeps leaving voicemails. She somehow got my phone number, and then I had to block her, and then she got Danny's phone number, and he had to block her. I don't know what's the deal is, but she just keeps leaving voicemails too. It's some girl that used to like go to the club or something here. And anyway, I'll have to explain more of that off camera.
I feel like you set it up. You almost have to play it.
We got stage 5 clinger. But yeah, so you guys can hit up that YOLO line, leave us a voicemail. That one was very pleasant. It was nice.
First, you guys want to call that DJ Demand over there threatening legal action. We got an actual positive one here.
Yeah. So if you want to call that number, it's 562-246-YOLO. You can tell us whatever. You can be nice like Joe, or you can be a complete asshole if you want. That's cool with us. Also, if you haven't checked out directmusicservice.com yet, you can use the promo code Drew and Fuse Show. It'll get you 30% off your first month of activation. There's tons of great exclusive edits over there. So if you aren't on the site, you're really missing out, because the pool is fire right now. I'm not just saying that because I work for them. I'm saying that because the exclusives have been on point lately. So go over there, use Drew and Fuse Show. and that'll get you 30% off your first month of activation. Also, we have an affiliate link below for Club Cannon. It'll save you $25 off your purchase of $250 or more. So make sure you're turning your parties up to 11 with the Club Cannon. Also, we have Briggs Beard Company. If you want your beard looking nice and smooth, and there you go. There it is. You can use the promo code DAFS. It'll get you 20% off any product on the website over there, Briggs Beard Company. Make sure you check it out. Drew putting those drops of Jupiter all over his face. Sometimes you have to pay for that, if that's the kind of thing you're into, but here you get it free. Look at that. Nice working it in. Look at that. You just went from a 6.9 to a 7. So just with that being said, we're going to jump right into it. We have a great editor guest for you guys today. He is part of the DMS crew. He's out of Raleigh. You guys know him. You have probably his edits in, your Serato already. So just please help us welcome DJ Grant.
What's up? How's it going?
What's up?
We're
I
good.
enjoyed the little beard thing there you had going.
This is our sponsor. It's Little Beard Oil. So
I mean, you guys have a sponsor for Liquid Death. I should be sponsored by this company right here because they keep me alive. Trust me. I drink a ton of them.
I do love that rain. It came in just out of nowhere.
It's like 300 milligrams of caffeine. I mean, let's go.
You don't get all like jittery after drinking it?
Yeah, if you have 4 or 5 a day, yeah, you kind of feel it. You guys are on dry January. I've been dry for a little over 5 years now. So I feel your pain in that first month for sure. The first 2 months, yeah.
Maybe you could give us some tips, because I'd like to go longer than just January. So how do you keep it going and fight off, in the club, fight off all the demons coming at you?
The first 2 or 3 months was the toughest, like without a doubt, because everybody's used to seeing you and they'll bring you shots in the booth, just at random times, and all the bartenders and waitresses know what kind of drink you like. So sometimes they'll just bring you the drink. So like in the first 2 or 3 months of playing at different places, you have to be like, no, I don't drink, and go through the whole thing. And like, what? And you're like, no, I don't drink anymore. And eventually they'll start to catch on. And next thing you know, they're bringing me like buckets of water and Red Bull and things like that. So, and they'll bring it out with lights.
Yes.
So, but getting through that first initial 2 or 3 month stage is pretty tough. But after that, if you're really serious about quitting drinking, it gets way easier. So you just don't even want it anymore. So
5 years is super impressive. And at this point, you wake up and you're feeling fresh and clean. And the last thing you want is a fucking drink.
It's amazing.
I'm sure also once you start seeing all the people drunk, it's like, oh man, I never want to go back to that.
You get to see from the time they walk through the door to the end of the night, and you can just see them transform slowly into a completely different personality. It's like, wow. It's like, I know I used to do that. Like, wow. So I get it.
Did you have something happen, and you don't have to tell us, but I was just curious that your reason for stopping, or is it just purely just wanted to be healthier?
No, every single bit of trouble I've ever been into in my life, I've been under the influence of alcohol. And ever since I quit drinking, I haven't been in one bit of trouble, not even close. So I got like 2 DWIs in North Carolina in a 3-year period. The first one was like 10 years ago. The second one was like a couple of years later. And in the state of North Carolina, if you get a DWI or 2 within a 3-year time period, they're going to revoke your license for 4 years. So I lost my license for 4 years. And then when I got the license back, I had that stupid breathalyzer device in my car for 3 years. I just got it out last September. So that was a 7-year ordeal for me. And, I didn't have no license. I didn't have a car. So I was taking Ubers and Lyfts. Thank God for Uber and Lyft at that time, to jobs and gigs and things like that. For a whole couple of years, a lot of people didn't even know I didn't have a license or a car, because I was still on time. I was showing up. I was doing that. But there would be some months I spent $1,200 on Uber and Lyft combined. I was like, I could be driving a Lambo for this. But so it's expensive, and I just never want to go back, So that.
Good for you.
But no offense to people that drink. I'll buy my friends drinks. That's not an issue with drinking. I just had a problem with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like one of those things where I might go on a Sunday afternoon. It's a industry night, in Raleigh, and we start going to brunch at like 12 or 1 o'clock, start drinking. And it's like we drink till 2 a.m., And it's just like I couldn't have just one. So I quit cold turkey. Everybody's like, how did you stop? I was like, I had to stop cold turkey because I couldn't have just one. It's not like I drank every day, but when I did drink, it was no limit, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's one of
Well, that's commendable, and I'm on my path, man. I'll have to hit you up if I get stuck at all. But
yeah,
no,
let me know. If
good.
anytime you need somebody to kind of get you through a rut, let me know. Call me up. I have friends around here that like, man, I'm having some trouble, man. So I'll be on the phone with them sometimes an hour and a half, just kind of pep talking them, you know.
I think there's some like stigma too, where us as DJs go, well, you have to drink, you have to do this, you have to be a part of this, and I think there's people, you know, such as yourself and others that we've, you know, Drew has a friend, Versatile Stefan, that's really successful, and he doesn't drink, and my boss that I play for, he doesn't drink, and you know, it shows that you really that stigma isn't true. You know, you can break the ideology of like that you have to be doing this to be a successful DJ.
And a lot of people, as far as the networking side, a lot of people will rub elbows with club owners and managers and things, and they have to kind of drink with them, you know, to get gigs and stuff. And I see that, and I'm like, you don't really have to do that. You can tell them you don't drink, and they'll be like, what, at first, but then eventually it's cool. Like, it's not a problem. I meet new DJs all the time, and they're like, here's a shot, and I'm like, I don't drink, and they're like, what? But it's cool. Sometimes they're like, yeah, that's cool, you know. So
yeah,
I'll just start taking water shots, you know, or a little juice shot or something.
Yeah, put you a little ginger ale and some ice.
There you go.
And it looks like a drink. So
well, 5 years is a long time, and I'm glad that you've been able to turn, you know, everything around for yourself. That's great to hear, and it just it shows that you care about what you're doing, and you care about, you know, being positive and moving forward and all that. Right. So I think that's awesome. So moving forward, we're gonna start with a little rapid fire questions. So we're gonna play a video here real quick, and then we'll jump into some questions.
Well, hey there, it's Dolly. And I must say, it takes a lot of money to look as cheap as Drew and Fuse. Well, they do clean up nicely, though. Speaking of cleaning up nicely, why don't we get into some rapid fire? Today's guest, how nicely do you clean up?
All right. There's Dolly, and she's introducing our rapid fire segment for today. So the first question we'll ask you is, we know you're in Raleigh, North Carolina. Where would you take us to eat if Drew and I came to visit that we could only get in Raleigh?
That you can only get in Raleigh. There's a bunch of chains around here. Let's see. Capitol Grill is good for a steak. It's very good. It's in a spot called North Hills. That's a very good spot. You like sushi? It's on downtown Glenwood Avenue, where the entertainment district is. Sushi-O has great sushi. That's depends on what your diet is, you know.
So. All right. We have a Capitol Grill here in Cincy. I've only been one time.
See, there's a bunch of chain stuff around here. Yeah, we're not.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have to give it a try again.
Where would you go? Where would you go? Not where we can only get it there, but where would you go? What's your spot to eat?
I don't know. I hardly ever eat, man. I don't know. I really don't hardly ever eat out. I really don't. So
see, that's what goes hand in hand with. Lately, I've been really feeling every time I go out, I'm so disappointed in the food and the service and everything. So I just need to just keep cooking at home. But
yeah, I don't eat out a lot. I try to stay healthy. I'm on this little health kick right now where I'm trying to work out and stay healthy. So you're kind of limited on healthy food when you eat out a lot, you know. But I do cave on the late night stuff. Like sometimes, like I'll order DoorDash or something, you know, a $40 pizza or something. Yeah.
That's how it always gets you. It's like, you know, the DoorDash, what would cost you $15 to pick up is now $40, like you said.
Right. And we have, you know, we're not like a big metropolis around here. We don't have a bunch of choices when it comes to late night food. So you're stuck with your traditional like pizza and Chinese. And we do have a late night wing spot that's not far from the entertainment district. That's pretty good, but it's packed because there's not many places to go. Like,
yeah. One of the questions I had for you is, how many nights a week are you DJing? Roughly, like an average week for you. What's it look like?
4 to 5.
4 to 5.
Some weeks I have Monday off, and that's it.
Wow.
Sometimes I'll do. Right now, I was doing it every other Tuesday at this one spot. They kind of picked it up to every Tuesday. Then I do like every third Wednesday at a hookah lounge spot. I'm actually there tonight. It's called Peace and Saint. It's a nice little hookah spot. It's like a chill midweek vibe, you know. If it turns up, it turns up. But other than that, it's like R&B, hip hop throwbacks and stuff like that. It's fun. Yeah, Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what your music, what you're playing each night. Bootlegs are across the board. You do a lot of house bootlegs, and then you have some hip hop stuff. So, what does your average week look like, music wise?
Music wise, my mostly is hip hop R&B. I love EDM. I make a lot of EDM edits. I just don't have a lot of places to play. And we have one club in Raleigh that's I would say a true. They have a proper sound system, light system. It's called Alchemy. But you know, I never really play there that much. They have a little list of DJs they rotate through, and they kind of stick with that. And I hop around with a lot of promoters around here, and
Makes sense.
I work closely with the radio personality, WQOK. It's a Radio 1 station, K97.5. Brian Dawson's his name. He's like the main radio personality. So me and him do a lot of parties together. I've been working with him for about 5 years, and I actually got on the radio there for a while, and I still like send them mixes every so often. So.
That's awesome. You might be the first person that we've talked to on the show that leans more towards the hip hop R&B stuff. So now we know who we can come to when we need to freshen up our hip hop sets a little bit.
Trust me, come to me. I can tell you what's hot and what's not, what to play and what you can get away with and what you can't. So I'm very well versed in those parties. I can do straight EDM all night. You know, I can do that as well. It's just we're limited on venues for that around here. Stuff I make and stuff I send to you guys, like I wish I could play it out a lot. I just don't really have a spot, you know. But I'm just waiting on the day.
Gonna get that random call to play the main stage at Ultra one day.
I'll be there. I am ready for it. I stay up on all the stuff, you know, like I'm in my Serato. I have everything, you know, as far as playlists, as far as all the new EDM house, all that. I'm ready just in case I get a call for somebody, you know, pretty much.
That's awesome.
If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I like it.
Exactly. I stay ready no matter what.
All right. So the next question would be, who is your favorite remixer or producer? And it doesn't have to be like DJ related. It can be just in music in general.
Man. I don't know, honestly. Play a lot of Danny stuff, Danny Diggs. Play a lot of his stuff. C-Flow has solid edits. Scooter. I mean, I was looking through my Serato at some of my top plays, and that he did a Wayne Warner No Letting Go, the OG intro. I play that all the time. That works so good.
Well, maybe some of your favorite your producers on the hip hop realm, Pharrell.
Oh yeah, I love Pharrell. When somebody comes to me and says, "Who's your favorite artist right now?" my mind just goes blank. I'm like, I play so much, I don't even know. I'm constantly listening to so much different stuff, and what's in my Spotify is like so random. Like it's, you know, usually I'm listening to something that's like not even what I'm playing out, you know.
That's how I feel like it always is for everybody. Everybody doesn't want to hear what they have to play a bazillion times every week, you know. So that's understandable.
I like the whole Latin house wave that's going on now. You know, like Hugh Jail, I love his stuff. Like anytime he drops something, I'm like, oh, let's see what that sounds like. I love just that whole Latin house vibe. I went to Tulum in Mexico in October, and it was just like, wow, I was really open up to that genre of music. You know, it was just amazing.
It was beautiful.
Did you I thought I saw you DJ'd like a wedding or something down there?
Yeah. It's a local DJ. Her name is DJ K Stones, Kristen. She got married as a destination wedding, and it was still 130 people, 132 plus them. That's pretty impressive for a destination. Yeah. But it was at a resort called Unico. It's in Riviera de Maya, something like that. But it was beautiful, like amazing. The whole wedding, the ceremony, everything start to finish couldn't have been any more perfect.
How did you find the rentals down there?
I took mine. Yeah, I took mine because the rental options were limited. The only thing they had to rent was the sound system. But I took a controller and my laptop, you know.
Did you have to pay extra to fly your controller and all that?
The first trip down there cost me $370.
Damn. Was this on Spirit?
No. It was American.
Oh, wow.
It was due to the size and weight. The overweight charge, it wasn't many. I don't know how many pounds overweight it was, but it was.
So just for the controller, it cost you $370.
$370 to get in down there. Customs hit me for another $100 when I got down there. So that it was $270 through American Airlines. They hit me with a $200 overweight charge. So it was like $70 for the size, $200 for the weight. And then when I got to customs, they hit me for another $100.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Then what do you have to do to fly it back?
Same airline. It cost like $170 or something to get it back.
Okay, so
Which made no sense. It weighed the same airline. So it was like almost $500 or whatever it was, or a little $500 just to ship the equipment. And, of course, lesson learned. When I got back, I was like, I'll definitely try to seek out renting more equipment because if I can, but the options were limited at the resort. So,
Yeah.
and, I really wanted to perform at top level, so I wanted to make sure I had a good piece of equipment.
Yeah, it makes sense. I've noticed that with the weight being certain airports just charge more. I don't know what it is. I was trying to figure that out,
Yeah,
but
it must.
once I got a credit card, it kind of wiped those fees out with the loyalty with the airline. So it's tough, but yeah, going international, they just bang you. It sucks.
It was a Rev 7, so it's a little heavier than your like a SRT 1000, right? So
Yeah. At least that's kind of noted, and anybody listening that now knows that if they travel and they're going to fly their Rev 7 somewhere, be expected to get hit with some hefty fees and even a customs fee maybe as well.
Yeah, lesson learned. Customs will actually ask you how much it's worth, and they base what they charge you on what it's worth. So I lied. I was like, it's like $500. There was a guy down there there was a guy down there in customs right next to me with a set of ping golf clubs, and I think he messed up and told him how expensive they were. They were hitting him for like $400 or $500. He was mad.
Damn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They base it off the value.
Now, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but we had someone on recently and they said a controller also counts as a musical equipment, just like a guitar or something like that. So if you carry it on, you might be able to, sneak it by in a closet, or they might just check it right at the top of the gate.
I was a little nervous being it was like a Rev 7 is kind of expensive piece of equipment. So I had a solid road case for it, because I was scared to travel with a lighter case. I didn't want to risk.
Right. Definitely. All right. So, all right. If you were walking into the wrestling ring and you had to pick one song as your theme song, what would it be?
Oh my God. These are hard questions.
You got to put you on your toes.
Dreams and nightmares.
All right. There it is. And then, when in doubt, if you have a dance floor that's starting to clear, what's a go-to song that you would play at just any average night that you're DJing, one of your normal spots? What's a go-to?
It's kind of cheesy, but Back That Ass Up, Juvenile would definitely throw people back on the floor. I mean, everybody knows that, but yeah.
All right.
Hit it from the beginning.
And just drop it from the top, that boom, boom, it just automatically like, what?
Love it. Yeah.
So.
It definitely gets a better reaction. The older the song has gotten, I feel like it used to be if I played that song, I would mix it in with like an intro. But now I feel like at some of the spots where the kids are a little younger and it's more open format, I find myself just hard dropping it the original and it gets a better reaction.
I'm a really strong blending. Like I blend almost everything, right? So there's very few songs that I drop mix, but it's for a reason. Like there's some songs that you just have to drop because the reaction is 100 times better. You get the crowd when you drop certain songs right from the top. But there's a few like that.
Yeah, there's a lot like that where you got to have the original and just drop it from the top. It's the only way to mix it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's instead of having transition songs, you just
no, you just boom. It doesn't matter where you're at as far as tempo.
One of the things that we want to hear or talk about is a funny or wild DJ story, something that sticks out in your head from a night gone wrong or whatever.
Yeah. And my friends would never let me live this down. So it was probably around 2010 or so. I was drinking at the time. And I used to drink while I DJ'd. And sometimes I'll get pretty tipsy. And it didn't usually affect my set that much. But now looking back, I'm like, oh, my God, I've become a much better DJ that I've stopped drinking. Like, oh, my God, 10 times better, I feel like. Way more focused. But anyway, middle of the night, peak hours, 12:30, 1 o'clock. It's packed. I'm at a spot called 606 in Raleigh. I was on CDs at the time. Like I didn't switch to Serato until 2015. I was still using CDs.
Wait, you were burning CDs?
But I was fast with it. Like you have them cataloged in a certain way. You know where CDs are. You put them back. So like I could flip through my book just about like one page and know exactly what's on that whole, both sides. But
wait, before you go too much farther, what was the reasoning for this?
Comfort. I guess my comfort. Like I was so comfortable using CDs for so long that all my friends were switching to Serato, and I just didn't have a laptop that would accommodate it. And I just was like, I don't know. This is working for me. Until I have to change, I'll change. And when I went to Serato in 2015, I'm just like, why did I wait this long? What was I thinking? Like I was good then, but like, wow, I became so much faster as a DJ with Serato. But anyway, peak hour, club is packed, good energy. The music stops, and I don't know why. And my friends are like, yo, I hit ejected both CDs, and I'm holding both CDs, confused at why the music has stopped. And I was like, oh shit. And I put them back in and hit play, but it was a boo, you know, like that. Oh, I'll never forget it. My friends will never let me forget that. And still to this day, I'm still confused at how I did not know why the music stopped with 2 CDs in my hand. I don't know how drunk I was or what I was thinking. Like, I don't know what I was. But yeah, never again. That never happened again. But
I'm surprised the friends didn't make you force your DJ name to be 2 CDs instead of 2
I know.
chains. You would have just all your promo picks would have been holding.
It was bad. Yeah, it was bad. I mean, it only lasted for like 30 seconds, but it felt like an eternity.
That's hilarious.
That's funny. Yeah, that's a good one. We always love when we get a story from a night gone wrong. Do you have any stories from a good night? Maybe an artist came through or somebody come through or something memorable like that?
Not really. I mean, everything's good when I'm DJing. Like I love DJing. I love music. So like to me, every night's good. Every night has its own element, but nothing really, not that I can think of, super spectacular that stands out as far as like an artist coming through or anything like that. Yeah, we don't I'm in Raleigh. We don't really have artists around here.
Yeah. All right. So the last question we have for you is a one-word, non-curse word. A non-curse word, one word that you would call somebody. If you're driving in the car or you're going to call somebody something, a name that isn't a curse word, what would it be?
I don't know. I cuss a lot. I just use cuss word. I don't know. I just, yeah, I'm pretty bad when it comes, if I'm behind the wheel and somebody cuts me off,
It's every word in the book. Dropping them on them.
Yeah,
pretty much.
All right, that's going to wrap up our rapid fire here. And if you want, we'll move into talking some Serato top 5/music, because I'd like to ask some questions on what are some big songs that you're playing. If you're cool with that, we'll play a little video and move forward. All right, here we go.
Hey, Drew and Fuse, Kermit the Frog here. When I'm not dealing with my pain-in-the-ass wife, Miss Piggy, I like to talk and sing with my friends. What's your top songs? A new personal favorite of mine is this. It's the Drew and Fuse Show. The Drew and Fuse Show. And they clean up nicely. Because usually they look like shit. Yay!
All right.
Nice.
All right. So Drew and I do a lot of open format stuff, and I feel like even when we play hip hop, we're not playing like full on hip hop rooms. So do you find yourself playing a lot of throwbacks currently? Because I feel like that's what's big right now.
Huge. I guess TikTok brought all this stuff back. So even with the younger crowd, I can play like, even just like Montel Jordan, this is how we do it. As old as that is, it still gets a huge reaction, even from the young crowd. I'm looking at my top 5 in Serato right now. Here's an example. Mario, Just a Friend.
Okay.
That hits every time. No Letting Go, the Scooter OG remix.
Wait, let's start from number 5 and work our way down.
Okay. Everyone Falls in Love, Tantrum, Metro, and Devontae. It's like a dance hall.
Banger.
Lumity, Never Leave You.
That's a good one.
Let's see. I made an edit of Afrobeat, Joanna, when I put Give Me the Light instrumental in the background, and that seems to hit a lot. I've been playing it a lot because it just works. That's it, actually in my top 4. Let's see. Keisha Cole, Missy Elliott, Lil' Kim, Before I Let It Go.
Okay.
I haven't played that one in forever. That one was big.
Short edit. It's a short edit, just first verse and then the little when the song comes on in the club, that little breakdown, I blended out through that. And
Awesome.
We got one more.
Yeah, let's see. Trillville, Some Cut.
The squeaky song.
Yeah, banger.
But usually I don't even play a verse though. It's just a hook.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I play that sometimes too, and that's usually how I play it as well. I love it. You're playing a lot of R&B, like more leaning R&B stuff, which is really, really cool.
But I think it's like in my top plays because it's good early night stuff, So
totally.
So a lot of the stuff in my top plays is like first 2 hours of my set. I experiment a lot with the new stuff in peak hours. Like I get into the hip hop, like stronger rap stuff, trap. That's later on in the night. I might R&B it down a little bit at the end. I don't know
Yeah,
what you really-
I do want to hear what you're playing peak hour though. What's the
Yeah, I would love to know some of the peak hour
just-
songs.
yeah, top music, peak hour / what is the new that you're playing right now?
Oh yeah, okay. So you guys heard of Big Boogie?
No, I don't know that either.
Big Boogie pop out. That goes crazy in the club.
Big Boogie Pop Out.
Yeah, he's Yo Gotti's he's a Yo Gotti artist, I believe. So like the Glorilla stuff, FNF, and that song Shabuya, I play those next to each other with like Tomorrow, the Cardi B verse, Tomorrow too. Remember that song by Lil Rude called Nasty Song? It's
Who's
like this is another nasty song. I love the way she freak with no panties on. You remember that? Yeah, you guys don't know hip hop. Yeah.
Fuse, you got to be writing some of these down, man, for your
yeah.
club night.
I'm just looking at my history, man. Yeah.
Do you playing any Young Dolph? Like, is that? I feel like
Yeah, of course. Preach. Yeah, Preach.
Okay.
I play a lot of Young Dolph if I have to, but like I'll do Preach. Let's see. I'm looking at some history real quick.
Oh, you're good. You're good. We love just hearing what you're playing in this aspect. It's
See,
good. We don't
I
get
play
to talk.
so many songs in one night. It's like I do a lot of quick mixing. So one verse, hook, and I'm out. I go through a lot of songs. Like I'm just really fast back to back.
In the club, I feel you got to, especially with a lot of this slower hip hop.
Yeah, I've been doing this little transition lately that I did it on New Year's Eve. We had like 2,000 people for New Year's Eve, and I did this transition just to try it out. And the whole place just got that, oh, they went like, oh, but it kind of blindsides people. So if you drop Pretty Ricky Hotline, right? It comes in. Now listen, hear me out. You drop Pretty Ricky Hotline, and right before he says 5 in the morning, you know what I'm talking about? You drop Tim's Free Mind when she says it's 5 in the morning. You just switch it and watch the reaction. I had people sending me DMs 2 or 3 days later after New Year's Eve saying, "What was that Tim's Free Mind transition you did? Oh my God, it blew my mind. I'm still thinking about it." You know, like
you gotta make it, put it on the site. It sounds like might be the move.
I need to make it. Yeah, I usually just do it. I don't really. It's not an edit. Yeah. That lately has been getting a reaction that make people, you know how sometimes you do something and the crowd will turn around and look at you like, oh shit. Oh shit. I just heard what you did there. And they're just stunned for a minute, right? I love those moments. That's what I try to create those moments as much as I can throughout the night. So
that's awesome. Now, one of the questions I have for you, you're playing a lot. You're 4, 5, sometimes, 6 nights a week. What are your tricks? How do you not get burnt out? Besides, you said you love music. Obviously, you're not drinking, so that helps, But
yeah,
when you're playing those sets all the time, how do you for yourself? How are you staying fresh, or like I said, just not getting burnt out?
Yeah, I keep them fresh by like trying to find little different edits of the songs I'm currently playing, and try to sprinkle those in throughout the night. Like that, I'm a piano genre based out of South Africa. I don't know if you guys hear much about that or play it, but it's a big wave happening right now. As far as like in the Afrobeat, there's another subgenre called I'm a Piano, and it's getting really popular worldwide. But there's all these DJs that are making these edits of these popular songs. I even have a Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody piano edit, and it goes off. Like it's crazy. So I'll sprinkle that stuff in depending on the night. I might do an early night because it's like the tempo range is like between 111 and 117. So it's a mid-tempo, it's a good early night vibe, So I sprinkle stuff in like that. I'm always looking for just little edits I can find to kind of change up what I'm doing. And then I switch the night up. So like sometimes you may start out at a certain tempo and then go you might say, for instance, I may do I start out around 100 and I pick in throwbacks around 100, like Chris Brown Run It. For example, or I might hit 112 Dance With Me, or, I'm picking things like that. And then I might trap it out around 12:30. I might go down to the 60s or 70s and you playing stuff like Cardi B and Glorilla and things like that. And then I might switch and go to dance hall and then R&B at the end of the night. But I switch around each night. So I might do R&B early. It depends on what kind of mood. It depends on who's in the room, really. If there's a lot of girls in the room, sometimes I'll play a lot of R&B early, and that kind of gets them vibing. I see them, as long as I see heads bobbing and people starting to move and bartenders are vibing, I kind of follow that, and then I gradually will increase the energy. And then I have in my head okay, I'm going to save the dance hall reggae stuff or whatever for later on, because I know that gets people up and dancing and things like that.
I love that you're still playing dancehall.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I personally love dancehall, and you're one of the first guests we've had that still like has it in heavy rotation.
Not necessarily newer dance hall though. It's just older classic like rhythms and stuff.
Yeah.
So like Beanie Man and things like that. I got a crate that's called like Reggae Gold, and it's just really you can close your eyes and pick a song, it'll pop off. Like
I love that. How late are you playing till? What's closed down there?
2
2.
a.m.
Okay. And what's your
Like
typical?
48. Normally it's 10 to 2, but like say for instance tonight it's 9 to 1.
Okay. Okay.
It's easier to get people out a little early on a Wednesday. They don't want to stay out as late, So
Yeah.
we wrap it up around 1.
That's
It's still
cool.
about 4 hours. Yeah.
That's awesome. It's good to hear from somebody different that's just playing different than our typical open format. So I feel like I could ask a ton of more, but I want to keep it moving. We're running out of some time, and we're gonna play a little clip, and we're gonna talk a little production.
Hey, what is up, Drew and Fuse? It is Mark McGrath from the band Sugar Ray, off the charts, but always in her heart. Hey, Drew and Fuse, when I'm not busy being the handsome, dashing fella that I am, at least I had a few good years in the 90s, I work on music, like writing hit #1 songs like Fly and Every Morning. Maybe someday you'll have a hit. Let's talk production. Let's talk inspiration. Actually, you know what? I don't even like Drew and Fuse. Who are they?
There's Mark McGrath. Let's kick us off with some production. So you've been with DMS a little while now, and a lot of your edits, like you said, you play a lot of hip hop, and you have some hip hop edits on the site, but you do make a lot of bootlegs, EDM stuff for DMS. What are you using production wise? Are you on Ableton?
You're gonna trip when you hear this. Sony, well, it used to be Sony Acid, but now it's Acid, Magic's Acid. It's I know you're right. What? I got Ableton, I downloaded it, I'm still learning it. My comfort levels. So when I was around, let's say, I'm gonna show my age here, but like say the year around 2000, 99, 2000, my parents got me a Sony Vaio computer, a desktop, and it came with Sony Acid 2.0 Pro, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, finally, because I was all into music. I had a CD burner and everything, so I was trying to like make remixes and things like edits and blends. And I finally, I taught myself how to use this software. I had no friends that was into music, so like I had nobody to talk to. I grew up in a small town with one stoplight. I mean, it was nothing. But I was just like, I love music, and I was remixing. I was constantly going to a local radio store and buying like DJ Clue mixtapes and anything that came from New York back then on CD, like Dirty Harry mixtape. He was a blend. DJ Juice, J.U. Ice. I mean, this was a long time ago. So I got inspiration from those guys. And I was like, I want to do blends. And I figured out how to do blends on Sony Acid. And as I got comfortable with it, I learned the program inside out. And as they kept upgrading it, I would just keep upgrading and learning. And finally, I think they sold the company to a company called Magix, Magix. And I was like, all my friends were like using other software, or it's like Pro Tools and things like that. And as I became in the DJ scene, there was other people doing edits and things, and they would be like, Sony Acid, what is that? And it's just like Fruity Loops. It's like Fruity Loops,
Yeah.
It's just loop-based. It's
remember
loop-based software. Yeah. So I mean, you can do sound quality when it exports a file. Sound quality is great. Everything's fine. Like it's, you can do pretty much anything you want to. You just have to learn the software. If you can think of it, you can make it happen on that. And I'm still using it. Like everything I've sent you guys has been made through Acid.
It's amazing.
But I'm currently I downloaded Ableton and I'm currently learning it. So because the only reason is because a lot of my friends that are doing edits, we want to collab, and it's just easier, I think, to send project files back and forth that way. So
Totally.
I'm kind of learning it for that.
Are you on Splice at all? Are you using Splice?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I use
Okay.
Splice for samples. Oh my God, I get because it's high quality stuff. So if
Yeah.
I need a kick or like some type of riser or something, I'll get it from Splice.
Yeah, and then the project sharing in Splice too, where you could, so like if you're on Ableton, you could save your project and upload it to Splice, and then if you're sharing it with somebody, they could download it, and you can do it all through Splice. It works really
Right.
seamlessly too.
Right.
I want to say Scooter, wasn't he on Sony Acid for the longest time, Drew? I thought that's what he said.
He uses a couple different programs, I think, and then goes to wherever he's comfortable. And we always say that with any DAW or digital workstation. Just use what you're comfortable with. If you know it inside out, fuck, just use it. It's why learn something else? It looks like it's still up to date.
Yeah, I can make an edit in minutes. Like,
Yeah.
if a simple blend, I mean, give me 10 minutes. I can pop it out. Like, I actually I did a T-Pain. All I do is wind edit, and I put the video of it on my Instagram. And DJ Mike D that makes all the up-tempo radio remixes. He goes, I know Sony acid when I see it. He goes, I know acid when I see it. I was like, wow.
That's funny.
How did you do the video? You just chop that up in
just a screen record. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a screen. Yeah.
I love it.
Besides Splice, are you using anything else with production, like any other plugins or anything that you like? Or
actually, I just use the plugins that come with the software. Like
totally.
as far as the compressor and things like that. They have pretty good effects. It's decent. It's a good enough. It's I don't need nothing too fancy. I don't get too crazy with it. I'm not producing originals or nothing.
Yeah, we just had Cheyenne Giles on, and I mean, it was pretty cool to talk with him because he was even saying, he used Ableton, and now he's using a lot of FL Studio, and he just had a big release last Friday came out as him and the Chainsmokers. It's like the Chainsmokers' first big EDM like banger since probably they put out Lit, and a lot of that I think he was telling us he did in FL Studio, and then friends with Knock 2, and Knock 2 uses FL Studio, and one of the things that he was saying is he was just saying he thinks he can tweak the drums just a little bit more in FL Studio to get him to hit a little harder than he could even in Ableton. So I thought that was really cool to hear.
So there's a producer here named Ninth Wonder. He's in Winston-Salem, and he had placement on Jay-Z's Black album. He's got Beyonce projects. Fruity Loops. That's all he uses.
And Cheyenne was also saying how he uses all the built-in plugins and everything. They're all pretty good. They're all can do what they need to do. So Ninth Wonder though, that's big.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Do you see him in town a lot?
Yeah, he comes in town every now and then. I did a gig at this little place called House of Art. What they do every year around Christmas, it's like a house downtown, and they just completely decorate it inside out, like lights ceiling to wall, like wall to wall lights and everything. And they have different like bands and DJs each week. And I DJ'd on a Saturday, and I think the next Wednesday it was Ninth Wonder. So like it was cool to hear. He comes around every now and then, but we don't see him in Raleigh too much. But he's always streaming live.
Wait. I was just gonna say, for all those that are listening and want to test out that acid, it's going for $100 right now.
It's pretty solid. I mean, people may hear me say that and be like, "What?" But I mean, I can get done what I need to get done in it.
No, I think it's all about what your productivity and what you do and how you work. And if that's what you're comfortable in, that's what you're comfortable in.
Yeah, sound quality is great.
All I would like to do is if you got a rant, or if you want to throw a rant, or
I think every DJ's rant is drunk people requesting songs.
We're gonna give you 1 minute to go.
Oh, okay.
Let me play this video first too. Let me play this video first.
Hey, Drew and Fuse. Peter Griffin calling in. I want to hear what really grinds DJ's gears. Besides from Bad Bunny requests from a phone, or DJs stealing custom mashups of YMCA and Macarena and using it on their own TikToks. Hey, this week's guest, what grinds your gears?
All right. So we'll put 1 minute on the clock here. We'll get started. So, all right, you can start.
Yeah, I think especially that I don't drink anymore, the drunk requests and people that come up that are not reading the room, and the request is so out of touch. Like, I don't mind requests. It doesn't bother me. But read the room. Give me something that's going to make the night better, or make the minute better, whatever it is. But don't request something so random and then be pushy about it. And it's usually girls. I'm not going to lie. Like, girls are really pushy and rude compared to guys. Guys don't usually give me a problem. They may come and give me a request, and I'm like, I'll get to it. Or if it's good, or I'll say, yeah, no problem. They don't bug me, right? Where girls will just like, they literally threaten to pull your USB cord out of your laptop, threaten to close your laptop. Like, I have to get security on girls all the time because they want to hold their drinks above my stuff or start grabbing my arms while I'm DJing. They'll grab your hand and tap you. They want to scratch the the platter. Yeah, but it's always girls, man. They're like the meanest creatures.
Hey,
That's
you
the
won't
truth,
hear me
though.
argue that at all.
I mean, it's like they don't care. So.
No. One of the questions too I had for you. You were saying you work with a radio guy a lot. Are you doing a lot of emceeing when you're DJing, or do you have a MC that you work with a lot of times?
So if he's with me, he does a lot of emceeing. Like he'll do a majority of the mic work and things like that. We had this little DJ team called the Beat Boys, and it's basically him and I, and we'll set up our stuff side by side, and he may open the night. You know, I may MC a little bit while he's opening, and then when I get on, he'll start emceeing and hosting a lot. So, and I do a lot of parties with promoters, and they like to host and get on the mic as well. Because you know, they may know more of the people there, like personally, so they can be more personable and shout people out and things like that. But if it's just me, like say it's Saturday night, I'll be on the mic. But I don't try to be too annoying, but I use it to my advantage to keep the energy high.
Totally.
So I don't say stuff on the mic that's not going to increase the energy or keep it high, you know. But I try to it's got to add to it.
Totally, it makes sense.
Yeah, I used to be nervous on the mic. I used to be quiet. I used to be nervous. Like then I kind of come out of my shell a little bit. And DJs out there, if you're having trouble getting on the mic, I'd say if you know the lyrics to a song, that's the best way to start. Cut the sound, say the lyric, you know, real quick, you know, or say a few words of the song, get back into it, and eventually you'll get more comfortable with speaking to people rather than just singing along with the song. So. That's how I got myself into it. I knew lyrics of the songs. I would cut it, say it, boom, back into it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask any other tips you have. Do you just write down all these little lines, one-liners, or you hear someone else do it and then just
you hear somebody else say something and you can think of either if it's really generic, you can take it, but if it's something special like that, you know, they may have said, you can kind of switch it up to your own, you know.
The mic's one of those things where if you're not used to it, it is a scary thing at first. I really wasn't using the mic much until after the pandemic, where my residencies kind of changed and I've had to forcefully like use the mic more. And at first, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, it is so scary. But once you kind of start getting comfortable, it's one of those things, like you said, you use it as a tool to help, you know, add energy to the room. It is really effective, you know.
Right. Yeah. Think about what you're saying, but like think about things that you're saying to make sure they're adding energy, like you said. Yeah. You know, shouting birthdays out here's a good thing. If you don't know what to say, you can get on the mic and say, is there any birthdays in here tonight? And you're going to get 4 or 5 people that come up and run to you if you have enough people in the club. So, and then that's a good way to get some names. And then that's automatically a personable shout out. They're going to react to it in a good way. That group is going to scream, you know? So that'll help you become more comfortable because you'll get a good reaction with a birthday shout out.
So we have one last segment that we'll do, and I'll run this video, but we like to call it the sauce. It's the takeaway from the episode, a piece of advice that you might give younger DJs, or a piece of advice you might have wished you had earlier on in your DJ career. So we're going to play this video, then we'll talk a little about that.
The name is Bootsy, baby. And this shout out goes out to Drew and Fuse, all the way from Cincinnati to the LBC Bobble. Yeah, I was told you guys are quite the chefs, and you got a delicious sauce that you cook up. Ooh, and it drips that swagoo and breaks down the recipe. Yeah, and you giving up the pig, cause it's funky. As in good, that is, finger funkin' good. On the one by the power of the one. Yeah, without that, there is none. So get yours and be in tune with the one that loves you. Get it, baby.
All right.
Recipe.
The recipe.
That's funny.
break down that recipe? Hit them with the sauce.
I think my advice for younger DJs is to get gigs and things like that. You need to step up your networking game. Get out there, meet DJs in your local scene, meet managers, club owners. I think a lot of people say this. And if you don't drink like I do, you don't necessarily have to drink, but just try to stay in contact and rub elbows with the people that are in the position you want to be in. So that's actually what I'm doing more of this year. That's where I've been lacking in my own career. I've been DJing for a long time, but I've never really done a lot of networking stuff. You know, I kind of got gigs based off, I guess, where I was already at. They wanted me over here, blah, 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 and things just kind of snowballed. But I'm stuck in my local market here in Raleigh because I haven't ventured out and networked much. But something happened to me in September in Chicago that kind of blew my mind and made me really, that's what I'm doing this year as far as outside of DJing is networking. So me and a friend of mine, his birthday was in September. Is my best friend, Jason Keys. What's up? He wanted to go see a Cubs game at Wrigley Field, just a bucket list item. I was like, sure, dude, let's go. So we went out there for like 3 or 4 days, and we're just walking around the city, and we asked people, what is there to do? We didn't know many people in Chicago, and they're like, oh, check out this spot, this spot. So we're standing out. We're on this street. We're across the street from a place called Point and Feather, and I don't know the name of the club. We're just kind of walking around. It's warm in Chicago, so you can walk around, just explore the city. We were having a great time. Point and Feather had like extremely loud music, but it sounded great because they had the windows open and they were just rocking. It was packed. And I hear my edit, Fun, We Are Tonight, the La Candela Viva edit I made. Banger. And I'm like, out of I could be anywhere in the world right now, and the DJ set's about 4 hours. I just happened to be standing on the street in Chicago in this moment, and this DJ's playing my edit, and I was just like, what? I had to go meet this guy. So I met him. His name is Jesse, Mr. Boogie Shoes. That's what they call him. And he was like, so I walked up to him, and I basically, he probably thought I was going to ask for a request. So he's looking at me funny, and I just turned my phone around. It was my Instagram page. It said DJ Grant Official. He's like, no way. Even he was mind blown because he just played it. Yeah. So he was like, what? And I'm like, what? So he's like, all right, we're going to be at the spot called Treehouse tomorrow. Come out. It's a good time on a Sunday because it was a Saturday night. We were walking around. I was like, okay. So I go. And then he introduced me to other DJs, a guy named Gordo. And come to find out, Gordo is like, he's a Pitbull Globalization XM show guy.
He's the man in Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah, I met him. Great connection. Great guy. Found out we knew a lot of the same people because I know DJ Kaz and Live It Up down in Miami. They have their own show. I ended up getting on their Roboto XM show about at the beginning of December 1st, I believe was the show. And then I ended up getting on Sprite's Stay Radio XM show.
Yep. Shout out Sprite.
And then shout out Sprite. Yeah, I watched that interview. That was great. And then I ended up getting on the Fade University with DJ 5 and Eric Deluxe.
Yeah.
That was last Tuesday. So I was originally this weekend, me and Brian Dawson from Raleigh, the radio person I work with, we were going out to R&B and Ribs party in San Francisco. We decided to take a weekend off and go check this party out because we just like the vibe. We just want to kind of just feel it out and see what's going on and meet some people and, possibly come up with the idea here on the East Coast about it. We were actually going to try to talk to them about franchising the brand, coming over here, that got canceled due to weather. They had the bad rain and all that stuff, and it got postponed actually to this coming weekend. So that didn't work out for us because we're busy this weekend. So I had the whole weekend off last week. So I saw that Fade was going to be at XS in Las Vegas on Sunday night. So I made a last minute trip Sunday to Las Vegas. I just got back yesterday and I met those guys. I got to hang out in the booth with them and everything. I wanted to put myself in the DJ booth in a super club like that just so I could feel it. I wanted to know because, it's intimidating. A guy from North Carolina seeing all this video and this footage from these big clubs. And it's like, I know talent-wise, I'm ready for that position. I just don't know how I would feel if I got in the booth. Like, would I crumble up, be nervous or whatever? I wanted to get in the booth with them, see what they played, how they played it. Yeah. And once I did that, I was like, just give me the chance. I got, it made me feel so much better. But I got to network and meet with some guys. I met Nova. I met DJ Mark Stout. Mark Stout, he opened for them. He's from Chicago. He knows Gordo. The DJ community is smaller than you think,
way smaller.
In that realm. Everybody knows everybody. And I'm slowly starting to realize that there's people that know who I am through edits, but I don't know who knows me, right? Yeah. So that experience in Chicago really kind of tripped me out. It's like there's actually people actually playing my edits because I don't know who downloads my edits, unless somebody sends me a link that says, hey, this DJ put you in their show. Like Chachi, he just released his yearly mix. That Fun edit that played in Chicago is in 5 minutes. It's like the second song in his mix. So I was like, yes. So I'm trying to make some noise this year and network and get in and network with the guys that are in positions I want to be in. So,
that's great
awesome.
advice. I would say that was one of the big things for me. Just looking back, is I stayed too busy. Right? You keep booking,
That's what it.
you just stay too busy, and you don't get out of your shell and just go out and see. And you're like exactly like you're saying, the world's bigger than you are. And especially working for DMS and being on DMS and just giving back to the community is the biggest way to get your name out there. Is just give to the community. Don't just have your hand out asking. You got to give to the
correct.
community, and then everyone's way more open. Like, oh shit, you do this? Oh, okay. I don't mind helping you out because you put out good stuff, or you help me out.
When I meet, like for instance, I met Mark Stout, and I was like, "Hey, what's your email? I'm gonna send you a Dropbox." And he's like, "Cool, I'll send you something back." So like anytime I meet somebody, I'm always trying to give them something. To say, hey, if you need some edits, here's some edits. Like I know I'm exclusive to DMS, but I give my homie stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Of course. Totally. No, as you should. No, of course. No, I mean, it's just a good way to get your name across. It's we have a huge network with DMS, so it's a great way to get your name out there across the country.
Yeah, for sure.
We appreciate you taking the time to be here with us today. And before we go, make sure tell everybody where they can find you on social media. If there's anything else you want to push, let us know.
Yeah, find me on all social media at DJ Grant Official. Everything is at DJ Grant Official. So that's everything. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything. TikTok.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Find all of his edits over on Direct Music Service.
Yes.
And dude, thank you so much for being on.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Awesome meeting you. I mean, I feel like I know you from online and
right.
It's great kind of meeting you, and maybe one day we'll be able to get there into Raleigh and hang out.
Yeah. Or I'll come to see you guys. Like I would love to come. Like you're in Cincinnati, right? Fuse?
Yeah.
And you're in LA.
Yeah.
Are you in LA, Drew? Yeah.
Yes,
so
sir.
I would love. I've never been to LA.
Oh,
so
fuck. Come.
I've never been to Cincinnati.
Welcome.
So
yeah.
I would love to
let me know
anytime. Like you said, my whole problem was I worked too much. I never even took vacations. Like I went 10 years and never no vacation, no me time, nothing. Like I'll just, if I had a gig and it was available, I'm taking it,
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm finally starting to realize the benefit of taking some time off and getting around. Even though what I'm doing is still DJ related, like it's good to get out there and network.
Oh yeah, it definitely will come back to you. It's good to get out there and even see other DJs. I mean, look how blown away we are at what you're playing. We're just like, tell us more. We're writing notes,
Yeah,
so just to see other DJs, it's great to get out there. So on, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, this is going to wrap up the show today. Until next time, we will see you guys later. Make sure you hit up that YOLO line if you haven't yet, 562-246-YOLO. Use the promo code Drew and Fuse Show for 30% off your first month on DMS. Of course, hit up the Briggs Beard Company. Use the promo code DAFS. Make sure you check for the affiliate links below for the Club Cannon gear. That's going to wrap it up today. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you.